And today's tour, the history of Jehovah's Witnesses and the concentration camp in Sachsenhausen, I want to assure you not to be afraid of that topic. I will not focus on the bad things. The goal of that tour, or there are two goals. One goal is to inform you that you have better knowledge, that you have more information about what happened in this concentration camp. And the second goal, and that's the most important goal, is to encourage you to get the stories, what happened in this according to Jehovah's Witnesses. So it's not the idea of this tour to focus on all the death, even we will talk about, but not to discourage you, to shock you or something like that. That's not the goal of today's tour. So don't be afraid about that. And also, if you have friends who said, oh, I would like to watch that, but oh, this topic is very, very difficult, invite them again. Maybe for next week, when we have 2 or 3 about the death march, you will see it's not discouraging, it's more encouraging, and it's even a difficult topic, it's good to hear that. This is the former concentration camp Sachsenhausen. It's called in German today Gedenkstätte und Museum Sachsenhausen, so it's Memorial and Museum Sachsenhausen. All former concentration camps that are today memorials and museums in whole Germany have free entrance. It's a part of the education of the people, especially also for the young ones, for the schools, which is very, very good. And this is where we will go now today. But before we do this, we have to talk a little bit about concentration camps. What are or what have been concentration camps? You see here a map of Europe in the 1940s during the Second World War. And you have different kind of signs, all dots, squares, triangles, crosses connected to concentration camps during the Nazi time. What are concentration camps? You could say there are prisons, but that's not fair enough. It's not a real prison. A prison, people get put inside because they did something wrong. There's a trial, a legal trial. There should be a legal trial, and it's to protect the society from you, what you have done. A concentration camp is a prison where mostly the people were put without a trial or without a legal trial, and you were put into protective custody, as the Nazis called it, so that you are protected, which is pretty crazy what the Nazis invented, to be honest. And you stayed in this camp until you died. Normally, nobody get out of this camp. So concentration camps are non-legal places. Definitely, concentration camps should not exist, and concentration camps were against the law that any country had. We see that the Nazis, when they conquered Europe, they built more and more different camps in different places. We were not focused now on all of them. We were focused on the one where you can see a square, or you can see a triangle. Let's talk first about the triangles. One of the camp is highlighted. It's the Sachsenhausen concentration camps. This is where we will go today. This is the camp very close to Berlin, just 30-50 minutes, something like that, by car or by train, and you can visit that place here close to Berlin. The first of the concentration camp was, the first official was built in Dachau. This is close to Munich. If you go from Berlin south, you get to Dachau, Munich. That was the official first concentration camp. What are the triangles? We could call them the working camps. These are the camps where People were put inside, as I said, mostly illegal, without a legal try, and they have to go to work. They were used as slaves, as workers for the Nazi system, mostly for military issues, mostly for companies to work for the military industry. Also, Jehovah's Witnesses who have been in this camp have got to work, but they refused to work in the military industry. They did another kind of work. We will talk about that. So these are the working camps, let's call them this way. But we have also a few of them, only 6 were marked as a square, as you can see, and they're all in Poland. So it's in the place where Poland have been in the past and still today is. Why they are in Poland? Because after the Nazis started the Second World War and conquered Poland, they start to build these camps there to put much more people there and to murder them. We can call them the death camps. The goal was to kill as much as possible of these poor people, mostly Jews. Most known is in the south of Poland, Auschwitz, Birkenau, where we know that more than 1 million poor Jewish people have been murdered there. Why in Poland? So the Germans will not really get the information what the Nazis do. That was the goal, and that's why the Nazis decided to create this death camps in Poland and not in Germany. And there are more and more different camps that have been built. How many camps existed? How many camps did the Nazis build? I think it's a pretty difficult question to describe what's a camp. It's just enough if only one person is imprisoned or if only one person died. How many people have to be there? What are the conditions? But we have a number. We have a number of all facilities, all places that have been connected with concentration camps, and the number is 15,000. Yes, you heard well. 15,000 places that have been connected during the Nazi time with concentration camps. It was a well-organized net of these horrible places. But we will focus today only on the concentration camp here in Sachsenhausen for 2 reasons. Historical reason, and also for reason as if you're interested especially in the history of Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's talk first about the historical reason. The idea of that camp was that all camps should look like this camp that they start to build. So the idea was that this would be a model camp and all the others would look like the same. It didn't work on the end for different reasons, but why this is a model camp? So you see, you have also here a triangle. The orange or pink places, these are the barrack where the prisoners have been. And you see in the middle, it's called Watchtower A. There was one machine gun, and that one machine gun could reach every spot in this triangle. So it was a very efficient kind of way of building. And if you want to make it bigger, increase because you got more prisoners, it was pretty easy. As you can see also in this camp, you see the special Soviet camp. You just build another walls, and then you can make it bigger, this camp. So that was the one reason. The other reason is also that this camp was used as a training camp. You see down below the blue buildings, it's called the SS2 camp. The idea was that every SS officer, before he was sent to another concentration camp to do his service, was first trained inside that camp and then sent to the other camp. For Jehovah's Witnesses, this camp is also very important, or the history of this camp, because this is the camp where the most Jehovah's Witnesses have been imprisoned. we talk here about 1,000 different individuals, 1,000 different Jehovah's Witnesses only in that one camp in 9 years. So this camp was built in 1936, 3 years after the Nazis start to rule, and until 1945 when the Second World War ended. And in this 9 years, there have been more than about 1,000 different Jehovah's Witnesses. So that's almost 50% of all Jehovah's Witnesses that have been in concentration camps during the Nazi regime.